Well, good evening, everybody. This is Tricia Bart. I'm a Gold with Young Living, and we are broadcasting from Quincy, Illinois. Tonight, we have a wonderful presentation for you called For the Love of Pets, and we're going to get underway. We just had a whole bunch of folks come in, so we'll let them get settled. But I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest tonight, Dr. Leslie Trimble. She is a chiropractor who works with people and animals, and she's going to tell you a bit about her practice. She's got her amazing buddy Murphy here. She's going to introduce him as well, and we'll take some questions, and then we'll talk a little bit about oils and using them with your pets. So I'm going to turn things over. Let me just change this over so it actually has Leslie's name under her while she's speaking. Well, actually, now don't worry about the camera so much, Leslie. You can just speak to folks here. Well, you look marvelous. There you go.
We're a casual practice. Like Tricia said, thank you for having me. My name is Leslie Trimble. I do humans, my peeps, and my animals. I predominantly work on dogs. I also have some cat patients. I used to do horses, but I had knee replacements, and I just can't move fast enough. So I don't adjust horses anymore. They just can't get out of the way fast enough. But anyway, so I graduated from Logan Chiropractic College in 2009. My husband told me I had a midlife crisis, and I went to school, and I got my chiropractic degree so I could work on animals. I originally thought that's what I was going to do. I wasn't going to do people, but I like my peeps too. So the schooling for the animal chiropractic I did down in Parker Chiropractic College down in Dallas, Texas. It's a 6-month program. It's a 300-hour program. You go down there once a month, and for all the schooling, it's taught by veterinarians and chiropractors. And then I'm also certified by the ABCA, which is the American Veterinary Chiropractic Association. You go through and you basically take like a national board, like I had to do for my human chiropractic practice. So right now, the laws in the country are, every state is different. We're trying to get some unification as far as that goes. Right now in the state of Illinois requires that I have written permission from your veterinarian to work on your animal. Most of the docs around here are really great about it. There's a few I've run into, but for the most part, if your vet won't do it, he wants to get your vet. You know, I have a couple veterinarians in town that will do a cursory exam to rule out the counterindications, and then typically I'm allowed to go ahead and adjust. I work out of my home for my people and the animals. I also just recently got a cold laser, which I'm so stoked about. Cold laser is really great for healing modality. The dogs love it. He gets up on the table, I really want laser, and he just jumps up on the table. So he's all about therapies. He's not so crazy about the adjusting, but he loves the therapy, probably because I'm always poking on him. Okay, what's that? Okay. But luckily for the animals, I don't know, has everybody been to a chiropractor? They understand what chiropractors do? So mostly we work with the nervous system. Luckily for these guys, I adjust them as they move and live on 4 legs. You guys have to get up and down off the table. Muscle has memory. Muscles are tight, so you know it wants to go back to where it's used to living. You know, our job is to re-educate the muscles so it stays in place. These guys, we adjust them as they move and live, so it tends to work better, works faster, and stays longer. So typically, you know, I have a lot of people come to me for many different reasons. I have dachshunds that are totally down in the hind end, they're totally paralyzed. I have agility dogs that come because they've crashed and burned. I have older dogs that are geriatrics that are, you know, struggling with their arthritis. I have some dogs that have hip dysplasia. Can I fix hip dysplasia? No, but we can make them more comfortable. Let's see this. It's fascinating. So basically the same thing. I only use my hands. For the dogs, it's all about your line of drive, and we're just putting motion back into the areas that are restricted in motion. Same thing with you guys. Um, Everything in life, we do is very repetitive. They're called micro traumas. Um, and we just do stuff every day. We're really not made for repetition over and over against things, that's just, we were made to run around and gather stuff and, not sit at a desk all day and do this all day. So, um, animals, they play hard. They're athletes. That's his biggest problem. He's such a tremendous athlete. He thinks he can do whatever he wants and like, tries to climb the tree. So, but they're tremendous athletes. They're also their favorite thing to do is to T-bone each other, and that is the worst injury that we can have. Um, Same as a car wreck because you're hit from the side. You have less protection for you, and animals, that is their favorite thing. Their life goes there. So so there was a handout. So it has some of the stuff that you can look for. How do you know my dog needs an adjustment? A lot of times it's just that they used to jump up on the couch. They used to get in the car. They when they lay down it's ugh, or they get up and they cry. They used to play with their toys. Now they're not playing with their toys. Oh, we always play ball after supper. Now he just goes and he lays down. They're sleeping a lot. Dogs, cats, animals, it's called feign death. So they're very stoic. If they act like they're sick or hurt out in the wild, they're lunch or dinner for somebody. So they hide it very, very well. Dr. Paul Scully will tell you that by the time an animal shows you they have pain, they're crying, we would be in the hospital saying, where is the morphine? More drugs. So it's the little things that you notice. You guys know your animals. It's like there's something not right. And so there's something going on typically. So it's only good in public. It's at home. So cats are notoriously the worst. I'm sure you've heard the stories. My cat was great yesterday, and today she's gone. They're the worst at hiding stuff. So you have to be very intuitive with that. I have a lot of people that they just come for maintenance. We figure out what their maintenance period is, whether that's once a month, once a week, 6 weeks, 6 months. I have some that just come a couple times a year. I have farm dogs come. I have the agility dogs come. I get a lot of dogs with the disc problem. I need dogs, and we've done really well with those. I work quite a bit with Joanne Clinell. She also has a certified rehab vet, Jenna, and so we approach the dog as a team, which is totally awesome. Wish we could do that in with the medical field. Some of the docs are coming around for that, but it's nice to be able to approach it as a team. So if they are in pain, we can get them some relief. We can get them adjusted. Uh, Adjusting dogs, like I said, I just use my hands. If you've been adjusted before, sometimes it just hurts, but it's quick and fast. Most of the dogs take about 2 to 3 visits before they go, oh. Horses are great. Normally, I always start at the hind end and work forward. Horses are great. You adjust their hind end, and they're like, oh. And by the time you get to a roll back, they're like leaving it to you. They're really cool. Dogs, I have some dogs, they just don't like it. I'm sorry, when I'm doing it, but when I'm done, I get kisses. So they they know I'm helping them. They're intuitive about it. I have the cold laser that we do. I also have this thing I got a new thing, a new toy, my new toys. Rapid release. It vibrates at a varies between 100 and 200 hertz. It was developed to break up scar tissue and adhesions and stuff like that. And it's loud because it's a vibration, and he absolutely loves it. I haven't gotten any of the dogs to like it, but I'll be working on people and he'll come in and stand in between me. And it's like, we have to do it later. But he's been a good Cairo dog. He's very intuitive. If I have somebody that's really hurting, especially like a new patient or somebody got hurt or somebody's really, really upset, he monitors. And, he guards until he feels that you're on the right track, and then he'll go hang out with somebody else. But so he's kind of cool. He's taken a while. He's 6 years old, so setters are puppies for a long time. But like I said, he's very, very athletic. It's amazing what he can do, and that's kind of how he gets in trouble. When he was young, he dug in the yard. He had to dig up all the grass, and all the rabbit burrows had to have 3 cars garage, and the living room, dining room, and stuff. And he got to the point they throw their shoulders out when they dig. And he something to me, go like that, and go like that, and he puts his shoulders and go back inside. So they're very, very smart. I mean, they know. I have some people that are be like, he like tells me when it's time to come to you. So it's really rewarding working with the animals. People are great, but the animals just give so much back to you. And, they're really cool to work with. Some of the things that are on your list that I look for, TL junctions, thoracic lumbar. That's where the base of your ribs and the top of your low back is. It's a junction, so is the base of your neck. Where we have a junction, the vertebra above and below is in a different size and shape. So anything in the mechanical world, those are the first places that are going to get jammed up. Neck that's really jammed up. It's not so much the jumping up on these guys, it's the jumping down. Because then they jam the low neck, they jam up their shoulders, and stuff like that. Low back, the best thing I can tell you guys is to keep their toenails short. Dogs, quick reception, that's where we are in space. When they're standing up, they get that from their nails. If their nails are really long, then they start shifting back on their hind end, and that really stresses out their low back. So really watch your dog's toenails. One veterinarian at the down in Parker, he would make his human patients stand like this to let him trim their dog's toenails. So it's really uncomfortable to stand like this for a long time. Ear infections, even like babies. If you've got a dog that has chronic ear infections, a lot of time adjusting the atlas, which is the first bone in your neck, will really help clear that up. Opens up the station tubes. Every single nerve goes through that first vertebra. So if you can get the nervous system working correctly, then that allows the body to heal. The body has an innate ability to heal. What else should we tell you? If you got a dog that is like this and raising its eyes looking at you, you can't raise his neck. His neck hurts. He's really struggling. I always tell my patients, raise your water bowls and tea bowls so they don't have to bend down to eat. I also recommend, and you don't have it on because he's stronger than you. So I really like harnesses, and I really like this one because the tab is in the front. Because all the dogs have that sled dog response. They want to, if you pull and they're going to pull back. By the hook being in the front, it puts them off balance, so it breaks that instinctive pull. And it's a lot easier on the neck. So if you have somebody that really pulls, I'd either get one of these. The prong collars, I was always really against, but I have come to terms with it. And it's actually better than a regular choke collar because it distributes the weight all the way around instead of that one spot. But most dogs are always out on the right side because we're always jumping on the left side. So the next really tricky trick is that. Let's see, if you live in Missouri, I can still work on your animal. Most of the Missouri vets are really terrific about giving. I have a form I can hand out if anybody's interested to sign it and send to me. I just work out of my office. I also work with Scully Clinic over there in Hannibal. They changed it now to they just brought that up from advanced veterinary care. So they'll work with me there too. So I know you'll see the animals in Missouri at their clinic because Missouri law requires that a vet be present. In Illinois, they just have to be indirect supervision, which is basically a phone call away. Um, every state's different. Colorado just passed legislation as long as we're certified by the ABCA, they can work on the animal without veterinary um, supervision. Oklahoma has also done that. Most of the states are, still fighting, to get the, what we need to do. So we're trying to get the legislation so it's consistent with all the states. Unfortunately, there's a vet on the board here that's not fond of animal chiropractic, so most of the vets around here bring me to visit with me.
On the state board or on the county board?
State.
And what's he from?
He is up north, because outside of Chicago. Yeah, it's
And so
I look at it that we work
charge,
together.
so you can also not charge for them to come to office visit before they come to see you. So it's a money maker too.
Yeah. The big vets are struggling right now. Large animal vets, I think that's a problem. Everybody's fighting for a piece of pie. To keep it aloof. I don't think they want to lose touch, which I totally agree. If your vet wants a copy of my paperwork that I do, I'm more than happy to forward that on. Trimble keeps most of my paperwork, so it's there in the file, so they can just look at it. And so if she has most of my paperwork that I do the form, of what I do, what segments I adjust, what I found. Um, so we look for all that. So Tricia Priest is really great about working with me. Kristen Spear has been really terrific about working with me. We're hoping again, Scully's over in Hannibal. I have somebody coming from Moberly. I've had animals come from Crooksville, down from Bowling Green. So it's been very rewarding and very blessed to be able to work with all these animals. So, for the most part, we've done really well. Sometimes you just have to get out the big guns to get something done, but we try to get them off that and get them back to moving and exercising and making your life more comfortable. Just don't have these guys forever, so it's quality as well and quantity. So just quality of life, but they do really like it. My cats either really like it or you are like Satan. So I'm really lucky. I have Samson kisses at me, but that's all he does. But I've been really blessed. I have one and she purrs the whole time. So that was she's like, this is great. So she has a lot of arthritis. So cats have to jump off the refrigerator to around. So like, and it's all it's you can't watch them 24/7. You know, they do stuff. Just like people. They slip and slide in the ice and mud just like us. They I just can't tell you enough how much they hide that stuff. A dog needs every muscle, every bone, every tendon, every ligament to move. And if something is out of balance, then the whole rest of their body has to compensate for that. So if you got a dog like sore hips from hip dysplasia, and then the front end is overworking to take the pressure off those hips. So the front end, really gets overworked and stress. Cars, getting hit by cars, had one that broke his leg. So the rest of the body really had to compensate for 6 to 8 weeks. So it was a matter of re-educating the body and getting it back to there's no food. But I'm really excited about my laser, especially dogs that have been injured, that have the disc disease. We were talking about the dachshund. I have a lot of dachshunds. They have long backs. Dachshunds need to be lean fighting machines. They should not be hugging at all because it pulls. That weight pulls their spine down. If we can keep our dogs at a more healthy weight, that's tremendous for them. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the things. he gets a good dog food. I don't. I look at dog foods. Please don't buy dog foods that have corn. They do not have the digestive enzymes to break it down. It's just the filler. So if you can spend a little extra money, typically the better dog food, you don't have to feed as much of it. So um, it can be a little bit more money, but overall their health will be improved if you get rid of have all the fillers and all the chemicals and stuff in it. So it was interesting. I'm gluten free, and the Irish Setter is the only dog that they've actually confirmed gluten intolerant. It's like, well, that's not difficult. But I don't know. Dogs are getting more and more and more allergies all the time. They've gotten to the point that they don't even the manufacturers are using non-GMO. They trace every dog food back by lots, and they trace it all the way back who grew it. And they found that dogs that were getting GMO stuff were getting sick, bad sick. So most of the dog foods now are not GMO dog foods. So they just can't GMO stuff. Let's see, what else? Yeah, as far as that goes, exercise, keep your weight just like us this way.
My dog's going to learn and they do cornfield and eat the corn in the direction they come.
Oh, that's good, that's good.
Is that going to combine them?
No, they just typically don't have the digestive enzymes to break it down. My guess is probably pretty much going through the bowl anyways.
The dog food product is totally different.
Yeah.
You gotta realize they make it into a big mush first, and it's made it to a super high temperature. And it's not so much the corn flour and all the toxins and the mold that is also in the corn that causes lots of problems in dog food.
Yeah.
That have corn, any grain food is better than, if you're gonna go with any kind of grain, make sure it's a grain like it's ready to it and good for having grain.
Now they're now making the dog foods that have cranberries and blueberries and carrots and all that good
But
stuff.
you gotta watch all that because when you read a dog food label, I've been in dogs 40-some years. When you read a dog food label, look to see where it's salt. Anything after salt again, less than 1% of the total makeup of the dog food. So cranberries comes up with the salt, it's in there, but it's such a small amount that it might not be. It's in there to make you feel good. Something.
I changed dog food, I got two food, and I changed to blue. And it's amazing how my two food, the one food was out red, and I had allergies, but she's come out of it, and they just feel better, and
Blue wellness.
You probably wouldn't bring food with me too.
Yes.
You also have to right to one take right.
Yeah. I have a friend that's in here, who will hang out, she's having her campaign, I don't know if you discussed this.
So that's the other thing. Joint supplements. I'm a huge proponent of joint supplements. Y'all should be on joint supplements too. Klingo recommends Ficox. There's one called Actistatin, which is a really good product. There's a company called Smart Pack. I get a lot of my horse supplements from there, but they also do dog supplements, and they have their own brand of supplements for dogs. They have a senior regular version of joint supplements, but glucosamines, the chondroitin sulfates, hyaluronic acid. I like all those. I like it when it has the boswellia and bromelain, MSM. Those are all anti-inflammatories, and that's what ages our body. That's what causes damage in our body. If we can reduce the inflammation in us and them, it will help them a lot. But joint supplement, especially if you got an older dog, it will really benefit them to be on a joint supplement. Some of the dog foods are putting it in there, but like this lady said, they
It's not enough.
bake it in such a high temperature that they don't really think it's viable.
They don't put enough in. The dog would have to eat so much to get to what they're looking at. It's not worth it. They've done studies on that.
Yeah, you get my probiotics, don't you? Yeah. Coconut oil is great for them.
Excellent.
How do you give your dog probiotics? You just like open up capsules and throw it on food?
Mine's actually a liquid, and I just drop 4 drops in my food, so it's great flavor. What you see. Kind of melt some coconut oil and put that on there. But yeah, coconut oil that's great for everybody.
That's good. That's good. Article crazy about coconut oil. You can find it on the internet.
And it's great for humans. I mean, you can use it to take your makeup off. I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Just get a jar, unrefined, cold pressed, organic. Don't mess around with the other ones. But yeah, I use it. It takes my eye makeup off better than anything. I used to work for Revlon and I still didn't wear makeup. But anyways, I like how it feels. But yeah, coconut oil, the more I read about coconut oil, the more impressed I am with all the things. If you have a thyroid issue that's not working so great, coconut oil is really great. When it became bad to use coconut oil, that's what they used to do the popcorn in the theaters. That's why the popcorn in movie theaters was so good, because they did it in coconut oil. And that was a really bad thing. And so, because that was making us fat, so the ranchers bought all this coconut oil up because it was cheap and they were feeding it to the cows, and the cows were losing weight.
Pigs did too.
Yeah, they lost weight because it's a better fat for you. Yeah. So yeah, don't read everything you read on the internet. That's like the egg. The egg gets a bad rap. The egg's like one of the most perfect foods there is. So eat eggs. I think that's what else can you run?
He knows it's coming. He's so excited. He can't wait to be adjusted.
Yeah, when he was a puppy, we had this recliner chair, and that's his chair, and he was running like a madman, and he hit it, and he fell off, and he really shoved his sacrum, and so he really rather you not mess with that. I do that while he's sleeping, but he loves his naked adjustable. He likes all that. We have a tree in the backyard that the squirrels go in, which he tries to find to get the squirrels, so he's always got that all. Good thing you live with a chiropractor, huh, Red? Huh? Good thing, huh? Would you like to meet your friend? Would you like my
Like, well,
He's
so,
just a little spoiled.
So what oils do we
so
have?
let's take a few minutes. We'll talk about some essential oils, and then we'll move into adjusting. And thank you so much for talking a bit about nutrition. I had the pleasure of attending a Vets and Pets event in Bloomington last year, and actually one of the vets that was there is on the Veterinary Advisory Council for Young Living, Dr. Albright. She's a holistic vet up in, well, I've got it written down. I'll tell you where she is later. Pardon me? She's in Chenoa. That's where she is. Her practice is in Chenoa. And unfortunately, they wouldn't go so far with getting into brands of dog food. And I've since learned why. Because every time you go to buy, if you buy prepared food for your pets, you have to read the can and the package every single time. Okay? The recipes change, and what you thought was in there before is not in there now, and what you thought wasn't in there may be in there now. So do make a practice of doing that, unless you have really gotten to a brand that you trust. They at that time were saying raw is the gold standard when it comes to feeding.
Yeah, raw
There are
would
a lot
be
of
great.
challenges with raw, and
Absolutely.
it's a commitment for you as a pet owner if you're going to feed your animals raw. But there are some excellent products out there, and maybe if you feel comfortable sharing some brand names, that would be, I'm sure everyone
I'll
would
share
appreciate it very much.
websites with you, and then you could do your
That's
own,
awesome. Thank you.
own investigation, because
It is such a challenge as a consumer and a pet owner. You want to do well, but as some of our guests here tonight have said, I notice as soon as something has changed in my dog's diet, because she'll get a little bump, and I know that something's not right, or her eyes start dripping. She's a Cocker Spaniel. You can tell almost immediately when they're having a response to their food. So when you see things like changes like that in your pet, don't assume that they are sick. Go back and look at what you're feeding them. Just like us, it starts with what we put in our mouth. more often than not. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit of a slide presentation with everybody. And if you haven't had a chance, oh, I don't think I did that right. Start. No, okay, I have to do it right. If you haven't had a chance to check out Equestrian Nation, if you just Google Equestrian Nation and Gary and Mary Young, you'll see this really amazing, they were on one of the episodes of this program. And you can see the Young Living Farm in Mona, Utah, and their gorgeous horses that Gary takes such pride in taking such good care of. Let me see if I can get this going here. Here he is with some of his Percherons and some of the working horses that are at the Mona, Utah farm. The pictures on the far left are from a recent training that Gary did on the Raindrop Technique with his horses out there. You can see the love between this man and his horses. So just a couple things that are coming up. Oh my gosh, we've got so much coming up. I don't really want to talk about all of it. I hope you see something there that just sparks your interest and you want to come and check it out. We do have a 101 tomorrow night at my home. We're doing free Zyto Compass scans at Starbucks this Friday. Come on over, sip and scan. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Reiki is being offered this weekend, Reiki 1 attunements. I'll be doing the Love of Pets again in Springfield on Monday. And we have Pam Ryers, a certified clinical thermographer, will be here next week. She's going to be doing our class presentation for us, and it'll be Thursday night. It says it right there. Thursday night. And then Friday she'll be having clinicals here. I'm also doing a couple of events, one in Dixon and one in McHenry. So if you have friends more in mid or upper Illinois, let them know about this. It's all out on my blog. You can find out more about it there. But these will be day-long events. Really a lot of fun coming up. Including beauty school. I can't believe they're still openings. They just opened this one up at the beginning of April. And you can still register for that if you'd like to go. It's just an amazing, amazing pampering experience. And you come away with this case of gorgeous products that are beautiful for your skin, no garbage in it, loaded with gorgeous essential oils, full-size products. So what you take away is worth more than the cost of registration. Anyway, I highly recommend it. I look forward to going again soon. And guess what? There's a Young Living Animals Conference coming up the end of May at the farm in Mona, Utah. These are the stables. So if you get to go to convention this year in June, you get to visit the stables and see these beautiful animals on the farm. All right, so yes, we're talking about Young Living essential oils tonight as part of a way that you can help maintain the health of your animals, but also for yourself. So just a brief introduction. That's my hand at the farm in Mona, Utah, when I was putting the lavender plant in the ground. And you know, if you had told me 10 years ago that this is the journey I would have been on, no, I wouldn't have thought you had a brain in your head. But my life has taken such a change, and it's all thanks to the man who was here before, my husband. We were running a professional theater company, and a friend was there, and my husband was whining, and they put some oils on him, and it's been an amazing journey ever since. And just the changes in my own health. I really feel that I live with energy and vitality. And if you have challenges in those areas and you want some help with that, I think Young Living can help support you and help you make the changes that you're looking for. The mission statement of this company is really unique. And I say that because mission statements are often just beautiful words that companies put together to sound nice. But this is really what this company is. They are a steward for nature's living energy. We are a champion for nature's living energy. And that's essential oils. Young Living, it's about a lifestyle. When you live with vitality and energy and vibrance, then you can go out and do whatever you want in the world. If you have trouble getting out of bed in the morning and all you're thinking about is how to get yourself together to get out the door, you're not living what you were put here to do. So when we're talking lifestyle, we're talking about everything from the products that you use to clean your house, the products you use to clean your body, the food that you feed yourself, and you have this beautiful addition of essential oils to help bring vibrance to our life. So what is an essential oil? It's a volatile aromatic liquid that comes from plant material, usually through a process of steam distillation. And when I say volatile, that's the chemical term, meaning that they evaporate easily, as opposed to your crazy neighbor who's rather explosive in nature, not that kind of volatile. Um, Historically, they've been used for centuries. And you know, when we talk about animals having that intuition, about that knowing, about taking care of themselves, knowing to come to mom to get that adjustment, they also know outside. So if you have a cat that's going and eating grass, which is not part of their regular habit, if they're doing that, they purposefully are purging. Okay, that's what cats do. If they need to get something out, if something is disagreeing with them, they'll eat grass and get it out. Animals know to turn to the plants for their own wellness. And humans did too, before we started cranking out perfect little pills. Um, so the Romans, the Greeks, the Egyptians all used essential oils and plants to help support a healthy lifestyle. So how do we use essential oils? There are three basic ways that we can use them. Aromatically, that picture on the far left is a diffuser. And I did have a diffuser going, but one thing we need to be mindful of when we have pets in the space is to only run them 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes and then turn them off. Animals are much more sensitive to smell than we are. And so only have it running for a little bit until you know your animal is accustomed to it. Applying them topically is another way that we can use them. This is also a very effective way to use oils with pets. If you have an ache or a pain, you can put the essential oil right there. A challenge with the skin, maybe you've got a little cut or a scratch, a minor burn, you can put essential oils on there to help heal. And taking them internally is the third way that we use essential oils. Usually in a gel cap, you can also put them directly in liquid. If you do that, please only in glass, stainless steel, or ceramic. Essential oils are great at breaking down petrochemicals, so your styrofoam cup will slowly dissolve if you use essential oils in that cup. Young Living truly is the world leader in essential oils, and I included this slide tonight because more and more we see people that are just thinking about the cost of the bottled essential oil, and they don't really understand what the difference is that Young Living gives you. This is a company dedicated to bringing you the highest quality essential oils available in the market. And they do this through a process called seed to seal, which ensures that the correct botanical goes in the ground. We heard the conversation about GMOs and the effect that it has when it's in your pet's food. Well, guess what? It affects the essential oils as well. Young Living does not use any GMO plants. All of them are heirloom seeds, never treated with pesticides or petrochemicals. Cultivation process, obviously Mother Nature does most of that, and that's the way Young Living keeps it. So there are no herbicides or pesticides used on the plants either. The distillation process is a proprietary one, ensuring that all of the beautiful chemical constituents that we want in that plant material is coming over into the essential oil. And a very rigorous testing process, 6 different tests, and every single batch of essential oil is tested. And then finally, the seal. And you can actually tell the difference between a Young Living cap and anybody else's essential oil cap. Our teeth are bigger, so you know that what's in there is Young Living essential oil. Just a simple look at some of the farms around the world. Young Living has co-op and partner farms, as well as farms that we own around the world, where we control the whole process from seed to seal. So it's assured that what's in that bottle is the highest quality essential oil available. And it's Young Living's promise to you that there's nothing synthetic in there. Most people, when they first get started with Young Living, will get started with a starter kit. It gives you the option to explore several different oils and some of the products, and also to receive a diffuser, which is a beautiful way to use oils as you learn how to incorporate them into your healthy lifestyle. In February, Young Living is offering you 10% off of a starter kit. So this is absolutely amazing, great savings. And Young Living offers you a beautiful line of nutritional products, and many of them are perfectly appropriate to use with your animals. We have a probiotic like 5, which is great for your pets. We do have some joint and mobility supplements, which are great for pets as well. Ninja Red, wonderful for your animals. A full body infusion. One of my dear friends back in New Jersey, Nancy Weber, is an animal intuitive, and so she has lots of pets around the house. And It just cracks me up whenever I go over there. Her cats are drinking Ninja Red right out of her glass because they understand how delicious and beneficial it is for them. And every month, Young Living offers us some great freebies. If you do make a purchase of a minimum amount, you'll get some freebies from Young Living. This month, it includes wintergreen essential oil, which is a beautiful oil to use with animals who might use it in smaller quantities. This is one that's great for occasional aches and pains in the joints. Patchouli, one of my absolute favorite scents. And then the I Heart Oils collection, I Love Oils collection includes Joy and Lang Lang, and some of the new Vitality grapefruit. So if you haven't heard about our new Vitality line, it's wonderful and kind of interesting. So Young Living has worked really, really hard to be in full compliance with everything that our government requires of us. So when it comes to our essential oils, the FDA has told us an essential oil can either be used aromatic and topically, labeled aromatic and topically, or for internal use. Okay. The beautiful thing we have with so many of our essential oils is that they're effective in all three of those ways. So now we have labels for aromatic and topical use, and then we have another set of labels for dietary use. So your grapefruit essential oil in this little bottle is intended for dietary use, internal use. And then you'll have the other bottle labeled for topical and aromatic. Yes, it's the same essential oil. So use them according to the label. All right, so there are my little buggers. This is most of you, if you've been to my home, you've certainly met Cleo, our Cocker Spaniel. She's our greeter. And Chai and Daphne, they're our little sweethearts. So let's talk a little bit about, this is the Veterinary Advisory Council, which is really an extraordinary thing. These people have been instrumental in the development of the products for pets. Dr. Lindsay Elmore is also one of the product development people with Young Living. And you can read more about Dr. Elmore. But I want to tell you about Dr. Hanover. He is trained in homotoxicology, applied kinesiology, Western herbs, essential oils, flower essences, and Reiki. He's lectured at continuing ed conferences for the American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association and the American Veterinary Chiropractic Association. He's been a speaker for HEAL and a veterinary consultant for a number of animal nutritional supplement companies. Dr. Hanover works at the Animal Hospital of Gurnee, which is a private companion animal holistic practice in Wadsworth, Illinois. So 2 of the people on this council are in Illinois, which I just think is amazing. So if you find yourself in need of a really outstanding vet, holistic vet who understands the use of essential oils with your pets, you can get to them within a couple hours right here in Illinois. And then Dr. Susan Albright, she graduated with her Doctor of Veterinary Medicine from the University of Illinois in 1985 and established the Chenoweth Veterinary Clinic that same year. And she's actually she didn't establish, pardon me, she began practicing there, and she's now the sole proprietor of it. Her major focus is horses, including general and preventive equine medicine, equine reproduction, and equine dentistry. She also cares for smaller animals using nutrition, Chinese herbs, acupuncture, and chiropractic to improve the overall health of her patients. And of course, she uses Young Living essential oils throughout her practice. So it's really kind of extraordinary to know that these vets are available to you. I haven't found a need to, but I'm sure they will do phone consultations. Yes, is there a question?
What you say, Susan Albright?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Susan Albright. She's at Chenoweth. It's about 3 hours away. Okay, so let's talk about the 3 basic ways of using essential oils with animals. Diffusing, I mentioned before. Again, you're going to want to start low and go slow. About 3 to 4 drops in a water-based diffuser like the Dewdrop, which is pictured there, and diffuse for 15 to 20 minutes. And give your animal a break for at least a couple of hours until you know how they're doing with it. You especially want to give them the opportunity to leave the room. Okay, if it's a smaller room, make sure the door is open and give them the opportunity to leave. They know when they've had enough and it's time to go. Larger animals, you may be able to diffuse more frequently. So this is a really extraordinary thing to be able to bring into a kennel situation to help support the immune system of animals that may be struggling being exposed to lots of different things from other animals. So there is a blend called PuriClean in the Animal Sense collection, great for cleaning the hide, but also nice for cleaning the air. And it's similar to our blend Purification. So Purification would be another one. The Thieves blend is a beautiful one to diffuse as well. Lots of ventilation, don't lock your pet in there. If you see signs of aversion, excess, I can't say it tonight, excess salivating, panting, pacing, or other abnormal behaviors, just let them out of the room, for goodness sake. Birds are especially sensitive to diffusing essential oils. So again, start low, go slow. And of course, a reminder, if it's too strong for you, it's certainly too strong for your animal. Topical application, again, refer to the label to see if it's intended for topical or dietary use. So this is something, the knowledge on this has changed a bit. When I first started using essential oils with my animals, the suggestion was to apply them directly to the pads of the animal. Well, think about where those pads go all the time, right? Hopefully you're cleaning your home with a product like Thieves Household Cleaner and not some toxic nonsense that your animals are then walking on and absorbing, right? But as soon as they walk outside, maybe someone put salt down on that sidewalk to help melt the ice, and you don't have booties on your dog. Think about the places that your animal goes. They're exposed to a lot of toxins right through their pads. So if you start putting essential oils right on those pads, you may be driving the toxins further into the body, or you may cause a detox reaction. So one of the easiest and best ways to use essential oils with your pets is to pet them. You don't have to part the fur. The fur has a capillary action and will draw that essential oil right into the hide. So what I do with my pets, I'll take one drop in the palm of my hand, I'll rub my palms together. Sometimes I'll rub even the excess off on myself, and then I'll pet my animals so that they're not getting a huge dose. Remember, that drop is a dose for a 150-pound person. I've got 8-pound cats and an 18-pound dog. So that one dose, maybe if they are in an emergency situation and we're on the way to the vet, they might need that. But generally, I would say no. Again, start with the lowest amount that feels appropriate. The smaller the animal, the more dilution. Okay, so for cats, toy breeds, pocket pets, exotics, up to 90% dilution. So you might need to mix it up in something else first before you start applying it to the animal. A separate glass bottle, a ceramic cup. Medium-sized dogs, 50 to 75% dilution, meaning 1 drop of essential oil to a drop of carrier oil. Large breeds, we're getting into some bigger animals here, you may not need to dilute as much. But again, that depends on the age of the animal, just the same way you would think about it with a human being. If you have an animal that's been on medication for whatever reason, you're going to want to go more slowly with the essential oils. If you have an animal that is elderly, go more slowly with them. Oral application, and again, read the label to make sure that that's intended for internal use. You can use capsules with animals. You can mix it into their treats. You can mix it into their food. You do want to be careful not to create aversion with food. So, try a drop in some water and see how they do. Generally, internal use for felines is not really recommended. Cats have very different liver enzymes than other animals, and they just don't process essential oils the same way dogs, horses, humans do. So cats really respond very well to diffusing and occasional topical use. Generally, though, with cats, only if there is a need do you use your essential oils with them, not just because you love them and you want to get some oil from them. So maintaining a healthy immune system, right? So we talked a little bit about nutrition, and I think, like humans, good nutrition is the foundation for good health. Again, it starts in the intestinal tract, just as with humans. So promoting a healthy gut is the first step. Make sure that they're getting enough enzymes in their food to be able to digest it. Probiotics are helpful. Some of the oils to support normal functioning immune system, similar to humans, right? You'll see many of the oils in there that are in that blend of thieves, rosemary, clove, eucalyptus. Frankincense, another one really great for supporting the immune system. And remember, when we talk about supporting a system of the body, we're usually referring to internal use. When we talk topical and aromatic, we talk about how comforting it is. So maintaining healthy joints, helichrysum, wintergreen, peppermint, balsam fir. You'll see a lot of the same oils that we use for our own healthy joints. MSM, glucosamine, like Dr. Trimble mentioned, really important. Copaiba, one of those best oils for combating the body's natural response to injury. Emotional wellness. This is something that we sometimes forget about. Rescue dogs, rehomed dogs, animals in households where there's a less than optimal environment, animals who've recently lost a housemate or a loved home human caretaker. All of these things can create stress for a pet. And we all know those animals that have occasional responses to weather, thunder, and that kind of thing. So these are some essential oils that can help calm them and reassure them. Lavender, just like we might use for ourselves. Cedarwood, the citrus oils can be very calming. One of the most popular blends with pets is Peace and Calming. So we had a brand new puppy, and she was a puppy and very excited. And we thought, oh gosh, let's get some peace and calming on this dog so we can calm down too. Well, I really hadn't worked with oils and dogs before. So the very first thing I did was I put a great big drop on my hands and I right in that poor dog's snout. Well, to this day, she does not like peace and calming. She will go and rub her nose and say, no, I don't like that. So, you know, we gave her some aversion training to that blend. So go gently with your animals, especially if they're new to your home. And, you know, it's kind of like a child that probably doesn't need medication. They just need some attention. Same with the dog. She needed attention more than she needed essential oils at that moment. So the Animal Sense collection. This is a beautiful collection that was created by a vet. All the blends were created by vets. They are diluted, so they're already in fractionated coconut oil, so they're safe to use with small animals as well as larger animals. And when you buy the Animal Sense collection, it comes with spray bottles so you can dilute them even more. The collection itself is not on the Young Living website. I don't know if it's going to come back as a collection, but all of the individual blends are available. Okay. Same thing with the Repel Arome and the Animal Sense and the Animal Sense ointment. Those two products, for whatever reason, are out of stock right now. I think it lists demand, but they'll be back in. Give them a little bit of time. And I have a lot of these here for you to experience tonight. We'll pass those around so that you can enjoy them. The Repel Arome, as the name suggests, is beautiful for spraying on your critters so they can enjoy the outside annoyance-free. Okay, it is in fractionated coconut oil, so you might want to spray it on your hand and pet your animal, or do it out on the lawn. Don't do it on your concrete floor like I did because it's okay. The Animal Sense ointment is great for applying to the hide. It's great for applying to the hide. For occasional cuts, scrapes, some things, you know, these things happen with pets. You'll notice that it's got that consistency of that old A&D ointment. It's very greasy, okay? So all you need is a little tiny bit. I always scoop it out with cotton swab so that I'm not contaminating the product. You are welcome to experience it. You know, go organic, don't use chlorinated cotton swabs. Okay, so here's the Animal Sense. Enjoy, give it a try. It's great for people too. This is a nice one. You can use it separately because it's chock full of oils, or you can layer it. So, for instance, my pup's got something going on right now, and I know it's because of a new treat that we started giving her. And so she's got something going on with her skin right now. The treats are gone, but we have to help heal her skin a little bit. So there's a blend called Mend Well in here. That's specifically for the hide. So I put some of that on me. Then I rub it onto that spot, and then I put the Animal Sense on top because it's greasy and it keeps it in place. Dogs in particular love to lick the oils. She can't get it on behind her ear where it is right now, but you know, they'll lick it right off. I had a cool experience the other day with one of our cats. I had some peppermint on my hands for whatever reason, and cats will usually just turn their nose and, you know, talk to the starfish. when it comes to essential oils. But she was in there, she was licking the peppermint oil off my hand. So I thought, okay, well, she's a little digestive support right now. So this is a beautiful collection. You'll see that the names are similar to some of the other blends that Young Living already has. Paragize, so it gives you an idea that that's for digestive support. We can go ahead and pass this around. There is tea away. Okay, so we need to be no, we need to be mindful of not speaking of disease and symptoms and so on. The T stands for trauma. Okay, so if you have a pet that has been through a lot, this is an emotional support oil. Okay, so TOA, Paragize. Again, if for whatever reason your pup is having a digestive challenge, you can take a drop of this, put it on your hands, and then pat it on the belly or the back. Either way, it's going to get where it needs to go. Mendwell, again, is for the hide. Infect away. I wonder what that could be for. Okay, so again, that's another one great for topical use. And it comes with this kit came with this wonderful brochure. I'll pass this around so you can read a little bit more about these blends. And it gives you some ideas on how to use these products. The Pure Clean, well, this brochure should still be available on the website, so you can read about them. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a little while. Pure Clean, that's one of the ones I like to diffuse around the animals. And Repel Aroma. This Repel Aroma is the blend that's already diluted in the coconut oil in the spray. Oh, my animal scent shampoo is at my groomer. So I just take it to my groomer and leave it there. And, rather than have her think my dog is some kind of princess, I say, I'm very sensitive to fragrance. So please don't use anything on my dog other than this. My dog also happens to be sensitive to fragrance, but it's easier to deal with a crazy owner than a crazy dog, I think, when it comes to the groomer. So just those couple of common sense reminders: start low and go slow. Animals are more sensitive to the effects of oils than humans are. And actually, there's a great number. Humans have about 5 million olfactory epithelial cells. Cats have nearly 100 million. And dogs can have up to 220 million of these smell sensors. So it's just a reminder that our animals are very sensitive to these oils. And same as with humans, you want to avoid the hot oils you want to avoid just in general with the animals. You don't really need to use them. There are lots of other options. Definitely avoid the eyes and ears, and lots of pure water and high quality protein for your pets. Here's a little recipe for you if you'd like, for helping them enjoy the outdoors annoyance free. If you buy a cloth cotton or natural fiber collar, you can use essential oils directly on that. You can soak them in the oil blend, let it dry, and give yourself a nice 30 days or so with an annoyance-free collar for your pet. Lit aroma. Does anyone else have a challenge around this at home? All right. So, by the way, one thing that I've learned as a cat owner, I was really surprised to find out too. Maybe you all are aware of this. The clumping litters are really very, very dangerous for our cats. They clump and they get caught in between the toes, and then the cats lick that off. Well, the whole point is that it clumps. So think about what it does inside their bodies, right? Besides the fact that they're just chock full of chemicals. So if you can go back to just a natural clay litter, that's my personal preference at home. They're a little dusty, so it requires some cleaning. Cats are pretty particular about how clean their litter box area is. So you can help with any odors by using your essential oils. Just mixing some essential oils into baking soda. Let that cook overnight a little bit just to make sure that the essential oils are throughout the baking soda. And then you can mix that into your kitty litter. And it really does help keep down any kind of urine smell from your kitty box. Of course, cleaning the box every day is really critical. And a little trick that I learned from that: one more litter pan than cats is a way to keep peace in your house and avoid accidents. All right, so the raindrop technique with the animals, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate this. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you about. Oh, okay, there's something else I wanted to tell you about. So the raindrop technique is really as wonderful for your pets as it is for you in terms of helping to support the immune system. It's a beautiful complement to chiropractic. These modalities work really well together. And just as in humans, we find that using essential oils before the chiropractic adjustment seems to help the adjustment go more smoothly and hold a little longer. So now Murphy's going to get a modified raindrop today. I'm going to be using the kitty raindrop on him because he's not a regular oiler yet. So I mix this up in a 1 ounce bottle, and it uses 4 drops of each of the single oils in the raindrop technique. So that's oregano, thyme, basil, cypress, wintergreen, marjoram, and peppermint, 4 drops each. And then the rest is D6, a carrier oil, a good carrier oil. And you just mix it together. Now, my guys, as long as everybody's doing well at home, they get a raindrop once a month. They'd love to get it every week, and just it's kind of a case of the toddler's children where mom just forgets because everybody's so healthy. I don't think about it. But it's really very simple. It's similar to humans, and I'm going to turn this just a little more so we can see Murph. There he is. He's ready.
Oh, ready for this, Mom. Thank you for bringing me.
So one thing that you can do, help everybody, is to start with Valor for the Valor balance. Now I'm using Valor 2 because guess what? Valor and Peace and Calming are out of stock again. Hey, it all depends on the growing season for the plants. So this blend of Valor 2 is lovely. Peace and Calming 2, my dog likes. And she doesn't have an aversion to it, so we can use that with her. So I'll pass around the Valor. Now, when you're approaching an animal for the first time, it's great to put essential oils on yourself so that you are calm and present, and it's about them and not about you. Okay, so if I were to start working on horses, I would put my Valor on first and get myself into a place of calm first, just as you would with any loved one. Get yourself into a calm place first. I also find that this is more than enough when I'm taking my pets to the vet. I'll put a drop of oil on me, and that helps everybody. So it's a nice way to be a diffuser for your pets. You don't have to necessarily marinate them in essential oils. Sometimes it's you that needs a little calming down. So I'm just gonna, I put some Valor on my hand. You saw how long I've been standing here, so a lot of it's absorbed into me already, right? So I'm just gonna check Murphy out from about here, see what he thinks back. Oh, yeah, see, he's trying to look it off my hand. So he likes Valor. And so this is a balancing, and you would balance the same way with a cat, just at the shoulders and on the rump. You see how quickly you calm down. And just petting it in his coat is wonderful. Now, for dogs, larger dogs, and horses, you can do a full raindrop technique. Again, you're going to monitor your drops by the size of the animal. But this is what I use on my cats, and this is also the dilution that I use on my dog because she's only 18 pounds. So this is a perfectly appropriate dilution. But guess what? I also take this with me when I travel. This is a perfect little raindrop in a bottle for me to take with myself when I travel and put on the soles of my feet every day to help support my immune system and help me feel great all the time. So all we're going to do, I'm just going to use the dropper in here, and I'm just going to drop this up his spine, starting at the base of the spine, and maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 drops all the way up to the top. And just gently working the spine. very well. Murphy is digging this. It's like, yes, that is excellent. And generally in the raindrop, whatever we do once, we do 3 times. Surprisingly, cats don't mind if you go against the fur. Cats don't mind if you work against the fur when you do the raindrop. But there's really no room to just stretching it into the coat is fine.
So like on a horse, you just go from your up to the
Yes.
My husband just had one drop recently. Yeah, the 10th for his birthday.
Now, if you want to do the full technique, you can. You know, if you've got a dog that's cooperating, you can do the little circles, work along the spine. But you know, with my guys at home, they're just rubbing up the spine 3 times. I'm like, thanks, mom, and they're gone. That's all they want. So he's gonna do it.
He's got a little hand in him.
What else do you want to do to be human? I can cut this one.
And that one was for the
So the raindrop technique, obviously, when we talk about applying oils topically, we're talking about the comfort and the relaxation that can experience from it. But we all know that the oils get absorbed. So anything else you might know about how the oils can support us?
Okay, so 4 drops of each raindrop are at a 1 ounce fine.
Yes.
That seems pretty intense, like the cats. That's
So you're putting maybe 10 drops in, and then you're adding the rest. It's almost an ounce of carrier oil that you're putting in there.
But 4 drops is not that much.
About 8 drops. It really is not very much. It's extremely good. Oregano, thyme, basil, saffron, oregano. It's in the presentation. Okay.
And you put them all at the same time?
All of the drops go in the bottle. So I put all the drops in the bottle. So that would be what, maybe 30 drops at the most in the bottle, and then the rest is carrier oil. So it is really very dilute. I use V6. You can use fractionated coconut oil, anything organic carrier oil. Those would be my personal preferences. And then just roll it between your hands, and then it's ready to use. And I used 6 drops on it. I was like, yeah, this is great. Right.
Did you use like the orthosphere or
I-
something like that?
Orthosport already has a lot of essential oils in it, so maybe use that instead of adding oils to it. But even Orthosport might be a little strong for the smaller animals. It's got a lot of oil, a lot of essential oils in it.
And orthosphere, hopefully for that, relaxing.
Right, Orthosport, Ortho Ease, they have a lot of the raindrop oils in the carrier oil already. They also have lavender and a couple of other oils that are really great for helping the muscles relax. Okay, so that was kind of a cheat. We hardly got a real raindrop technique, but it seems to be very good. So now we're going to turn it over to Mom, and she can show off her super skills.
So like I said, I always start at the hind end. Sacrum, just like us, it's a triangle bone. The point is our tailbone. Same thing with these guys. A lot of times they fall and they jam it one way or other, just like you guys. That's in them. That's called the coxofemoral joint. In us, that's your SI joint.
I like that.
This table's a little tall for him, for me. I know he's fine. I even horses too. I'll even check their tailbones because they'll get really jammed up.
when the horse's tailbone's jammed up, they just go through. And you would think something as simple as that. Thank you, ma'am. She used to come in with those kind of horses. And he did those horses. And I had kind of a extra horse. It's basically like, wow. To do that. Anyway, I've only had one person that was actually TJ. Did you get my last book? I asked him about his background. I said, you know, what's your background? He's a warrior man. That's what he said. That's why I thought, man. TJ, he mentored under the same way I did that practical. That he hung out with her for over a year. And it just wasn't good. He comes to the first time. Yeah, I had been on around 2.5 years. No, I had another horse and he flipped me and he sent me flying through people in the air. That just for me, so I forgot to tell you guys how I got started. Obviously went back to school later in life. And I was 7 named Maggie. And Maggie was trying to rupture a disc in her neck. And Joanne came up. This is what we do a lot of adjusting laying down on the floor. Just showing off now. So Joanne Pringle basically gave me a week to come to terms and figure it out. So we were in there, she was in a crate, she'd never been in a crate, I was laying on the outside of the crate crying because she was in there crying. My girlfriend brought her chiropractor. So, my girlfriend brought her chiropractor over and adjusted Maggie's neck. And Maggie, I mean, she was just obviously tremendous release. So. And so I went back to the vet a week later, and basically they were set up to put Maggie down because they just were not put her down. And she had a soft collar on, just like a human. And we walked in, and she was wagging her tail, and Joanne was like, "What'd you do?" And I just wanted to see this because we're animals. And I'm like, I can't help it. She goes, "Well, you're sitting in that chair, so you can tell her what you did." And I'm like, "You know, this is gonna be a long day." And about 20 minutes later, she came back in. She goes, "I know what you did. I'll talk to her later." I'm like, "Okay, I'm out of here." Then my horse got hurt at the vet. It wasn't the vet's fault. Dr. Robinson was an awesome guy, but he was getting his teeth pulled. Was not like this. He sat down in front of me. He could see him do it, and he was a mess. I was going to lose him. And I found a lady in Columbia who was a massage therapist. So she worked on it. She said, "I can't do it. He's a chiropractor. I'd never been to a chiropractor. Maggie had been to a chiropractor, and Maggie had acupuncture all before I went to a chiropractor. So I found Dennis Eschbach, and my name is Winds of Human Beings, I never know. You're going to fall. And he adjusted my horse, and it was absolutely amazing. And that's when I decided that that's what I wanted to do. So I went back to school. I had business degrees, I did all my sciences, so it basically took me 5 years to put it all down. So I finished when I was 50, and I was married 30 years, and I was 50, and I got my doctorate degree. So, and they should be able to lift their heads all the way up. I mean, wow, okay? They should be able to rotate their head around so they can scratch their back. So if you notice that they're not doing that, that's, you don't hear a lot of popping and stuff. If you hear anything, it'll be in their shoulders. And really, the compliment is just gas. Our joints are surrounded by a very viscous, gooey, slimy, type of fluid, and gas, oxygen gets caught in there. So it's just like putting a tab on a soda can. That's all that is. Nothing's breaking, nothing's cracking. But typically, their shoulders will go kabam. You'll get some in that, but and I was suggesting, is it your horse? Do you ever do it in your horse? And you roll back, I'm like, oh, not really. And like, kabam. I'm like, okay, but then there's that time. So what I find with him, it's easier to see with horses. You kind of bounce their spine, and his head should bounce when you get to a spot. He's always jammed. He's always jammed up his tail junction. That's just what he does. He's constantly jumping up on the porch and stuff like that. Their sternums get out. Their rib cages get really twisted. That's definitely true. They get a lot of ribs out.
It's just like, oh, yes. What said is given is over.
So they always get a treat when we get done. We don't do, sometimes I introduce myself with them. These are Duchess approved treats. I had a German Shepherd that I worked on for a number of years. And she used to want to treat. So we had to do a lot of research. So they always get a treat when they get done. I like signs of relief in animals that it felt good. Yawning, sighing, licking, chewing. Those are all signs like, okay, that felt good. I felt relaxed, that area relaxed. And at the end, I really include, I like to see a nice big full body shake. So everything is working, at that point. Necks are the hardest to rehab because that's a lot of weight they're lugging around. But they, they can come through it. So, like I said, those are the areas, the areas that get jammed up. So once again, most dogs, your whippets and your greyhounds, they're going to have more of the arch back, but the dog's back their top line should be straight. It should be nice and even. If it's starting to do that, it's a problem. If you notice that they're having a hard time assuming the position to go potty, they're sacral stuff. If they're only lifting their eyes to look at you, their neck is really jammed up. If it's an agility dog, it used to be a great jumper and now he's missing it all the time. And my guess is his atlas is out, he's just jammed it so he can't lift his head up to get his balance to get over that jump. I don't know how, I've had 3 agility dogs in the last 5 days that have all fallen off the whatever. Yeah, so a lot of animals, we call it the splat because they're doing this. I think that's what my horse did actually. So they're really jamming up their sternum and stuff. And it's funny, I called my girlfriend that I mentioned over there. I said, I'm adjusting people more and more like horses every day. She goes, yeah, it works better. And I'm like, yeah. So when I adjust people, we do that. I check everything. I motion everything. I adjust sternums. I adjust anterior, posterior ribs. I adjust people. I adjust everything. So, because it's all connected. So.
And then they give you a good shake.
Yeah. Of course, it's not going to do that. But anyways, it's too busy.
You get a shake while you're getting your treat.
Oh, is that what you do?
Yeah.
Well, Leslie, this has been absolutely awesome. I'm going to stop the broadcast for the folks at home. Oh, a question? Sure.
I have a question from one of our people that are joining us remotely. So I'm going to compare some of the ask it.
Sure.
Whoever needs to answer it. My 2.5-year-old German Shorthair Pointer dog has a tick-borne illness present in his bloodstream, and he's one of the reasons I became hooked on Young Living. He hasn't shown symptoms, thankfully, and his diet is mainly raw with a canine whole food supplement added to boost his immune system. He was diagnosed when he was 6 months, and I'd like to learn how to keep him symptom-free with oils. That's from Wendy.
Okay. Well, then
That's your
we'll start with oils then. So obviously we don't talk about illness, right? But supporting the immune system and keeping a pet symptom free, we can talk about. I personally think the raindrop technique is one of the best things that we can do for our animals. We talked a little bit about nutrition. That's always the place to start. So the raindrop technique is great because it's going to get into the spinal fluid. When we have things created by insects and bugs, that tends to stick in the spinal fluid and affect the neurological system. Although she said bloodborne. So we can look at things to support the blood as well. Infrared is great for dogs. So I would look for, get a good reference book, a great essential oils pocket or desk reference book. There's also an animal desk reference book, but the big essential oil desk reference book that I have has got a whole section on using essential oils with animals as well. So I encourage you to look at that. So I really think the raindrop technique is the place to start when it comes to supporting the immune system in the dog. Yeah.
Limit vaccination. Limit vaccination. Oh, limit vaccinations. Check out why you should not vaccinate as much. Rabies, most likely, only because you got to comply with state law. But you run titers for your distemper and parvo.
Right. Great advice. Titers are so
3-year
helpful.
rabies shot supposedly has less vaccine than 1 year.
It's the same. It's the exact same thing.
But you only need it
Once every 3.
Right. But it's the exact same thing. What it does is it's sat on the shelf for 2 years and we stay viable, and that's why we keep it called 3 years.
He has
There you go.
reactions to it's. I get rid of these because I can't do it.
Unfortunately, we have to. If you're going to board your dog or use a dog park, unfortunately, you do have to do that. And there is some logic behind that as well, because they can be animals that go outside can be exposed to other animals that do have those diseases. But so, do we have any other questions for Dr. Trimble before we ring off on the broadcast?
Where is your office at?
4505 Harrison Street, down by John Hood Community College.
Say that again.
4505 Harrison. There's some cards up on the table.
She has cards at the table.
Yeah. Yep, there's a blue and silver pickup truck sitting in the driveway. It's out of my home, so I have one bedroom devoted to my humans, and the animals are wherever it fits better. That's in the kitchen. I use the kitchen table. I use the island for little tiny dogs. It's a eclectic practice. But we have a good time. So I have a lot of patients that not only do they come, but most of my patients are referred from animals. So I'll work on their dogs, and they'll go, people like to do my dog, and I go, yes, and then they become my patient. So they come together. So I do the dog, and then I do
Jane and
them.
Molly visited you. Jane and Molly visited
Oh,
you.
yes.
And for those that aren't in the room to get your card, would you mind just, if there's a phone number, they can reach out to you?
Yep, the office number is 217-214-0591.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone at home for joining us. I hope this has been helpful and informative. We'll see you again soon.